This may be your first time writing a 5-paragraph essay. You may be wondering, how can I possibly write an entire paragraph for my answer? Or, how many pieces of evidence do I need in each paragraph? This video will walk you through the process, step by step. The topic we are working on today is, did the movie Bridge to Terabithia show the theme better than the book? I have to explain my answer in a 5-paragraph essay. Let's talk through it. For the answer section, we need to consider the information we need and the information we don't. Let's start with what should be in the answer paragraph. Pretend that the person reading your essay is not your teacher, but a complete stranger who has never read Bridge to Terabithia, does not know any of the themes of the book, and has not seen the movie. Your answer paragraph should not only answer the question, but should give this reader the information they need. Let's try it. What is the theme I chose for the book? The theme I chose for the book was that you should be honest with your friends, because you will never get that chance back. I'm going to note that as a sentence I can use to start my essay. This sentence will inform the reader of what my theme is. What else does the reader need to know? The reader probably needs to know why I think that theme is important. I will make note of the fact that I need to explain my theme. I will explain my theme by telling the reader that my friends are an important part of my life, but I'm not always honest with them. I think this is a creative way to introduce the essay. But what about the answer? Finally, I need to make my argument and answer the question. After reading the book and seeing the movie, I think the book shows the theme better than the movie. See how I turn the question around for my answer? Now that I have 3 sentences planned out for my first paragraph, notice I did not give any of my evidence yet. I'm going to save that for later paragraphs. I simply framed the essay and then answered the question. Now I'm ready to move on to the next section and give my evidence. Now that I have a good outline for my first paragraph, I can move on to my second. This is where I will offer the reader my first piece of evidence for my argument that the book showed this theme better than the movie. I'm going to cite my evidence, and I'm going to explain it, all in the same paragraph. Looking back at my notes, I noticed that the part where Jess was afraid to go to Leslie's house when she was helping her parents paint was an example of a time when Jess should have been more willing to take a risk to be honest with his friend. She thought he was mad at him. I'm going to use that information for my first sentence. I will include the page number. It happened on page 86, and I'm going to briefly summarize what happened. But what about the movie? While I was watching the movie, I noted that this scene was not shown. In the movie, he goes straight to her house and helps with the painting. I will note that for my second sentence. I obviously don't need a page number since this was in the movie. Great, I've cited my evidence and I already have 2 sentences. Now I need to explain my thinking. The reason I think the book was better at showing the theme in this example was because Jess learned an important lesson about being honest with his friend. She didn't know he thought she was mad at him. I'm going to note that. The second thing I want to mention is that Jess could have been spending that time with Leslie instead of pouting alone at his house. I will wrap it up by noting that the book showed the feelings of loneliness that you can experience if you aren't honest with your friends, and the movie didn't include this important scene. I've outlined 5 sentences for my second paragraph. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Notice that I cited evidence from the book and from the movie, and then explained why those pieces of evidence proved my theme about being honest. Now I just need to find 2 more pieces of evidence and explain them for paragraphs 3 and 4. Now that 4 of the paragraphs are planned out, it's time to do a conclusion. I want to remind the reader of my argument, but also make it interesting. This is a good place to put in some extra thoughts about the experience. First, I'm going to choose a conclusion word. I'm going to go with overall. This lets the reader know that the essay is coming to a close and will be the first word of my conclusion paragraph. I'm going to restate my argument here. I'll add some more detail to that when I type out my essay. Now I want to wrap it up in a creative way. I think I will talk about how I enjoyed both the book and the movie. If I had to choose, the book contained important details about honesty that the movie did not. There, my essay is all planned out. Now I can turn these rough notes into magical sentences.